Hello students, in this session we'll discuss about some basics of C++. We'll start with what is C++, then we'll see application of C++, then we'll have a quick overview of C++ keywords, then expressions and statements, then we'll discuss about data types in C++, and at the last we'll see how the variables are declared in C++ and which naming conventions are used to declare variables in C++. Now C++ is basically a language which is derived from C programming. So we can say it's a superset of C programming. Whatever statements you write in C programming are valid in C++, but reverse is not the case. That means the statements of C++ are not valid in C programming. C++ is a general purpose programming language. It's a object oriented programming language which is created by Stroustrup. Initially, C++ was named as C with classes. Later on, it was renamed by the standardization committee and name was given as C++. The primary focus of C++ is on system programming. It is one of the most preferred language for system programming. C++ is used in different areas. All major software companies which are working in different domains such as banking domain, healthcare domain, finance domain, automobile domain and so on, they are using C++ as a language for software development. It is mainly selected for creating high performance software such as Google, Microsoft, Facebook and so on. It is one of the preferred language for developing and designing operating systems as well as popular software games. You find many software games are designed or implemented using C++. Let's move to the keywords in C++. As we know, in C programming we are having different keywords. In total there are 32 keywords. So all the keywords there are in C programming are used in C++, along with C++ has its own set of keywords. For example, we didn't have friend keyword in C, so that is unique to C++. We have operator keyword here, we have private keyword, we have protected keyword, we have public keyword, right? So these are the additional keywords which are provided in C++. So as you know, keywords are nothing but the reserved words. These are the words whose meaning is known to the compiler. Then about fundamental data types. So there are different data types as like in C programming, like character, then integer, then long, float, double, long double. So this table shows different data types along with their memory requirement. Here integer is shown as a 4 bytes. It is assuming that we are working on 32-bit operating system, right? So 32 bits are nothing but 4 bytes. So integer takes 4 bytes. Now in every program, before we start writing actual code, we need to specify the variables. So variable in an entity whose contents may change during program execution. For example, here I have declared variable x. Variable name is x, which is of type integer. On the next line, I am declaring one more variable with name x, whose value is assigned as 200. So it is always good practice that whenever you are declaring variable, it must be initialized. Then if you look in the second example, we have one function called as sum function. In this function we are declaring two variables, one is true, other is false. The value of true is assigned as a 1 and value of false is assigned as a 0. But before that we are using one keyword called as const. So const is a keyword which makes the value of variable as a constant. So any attempt to change the value of variable will give the compile time error. There are certain rules which need to be followed while declaring variables. The first rule is the characters are allowed are letters, digits and the underscore character. Variable name should always must begin with the either a letter or an underscore. The first character cannot be digit. As you know, C++ is a case sensitive language. So C++ compiler can differentiate lowercase character as well as uppercase characters, and all the keywords are in lowercase. The language does not place any limitation on the permission of the length of the variable, but it may vary from implementation to implementation. But a good, rather I can say the standard rule is that while declaring variable names, the name should be as short as possible and the name should be always meaningful. There are some examples of valid as well as invalid variable names. If you look at the first, we are declaring a variable with name ncmdshow. This is a valid example. Second is also valid. Third is also valid. See, here we are using underscore, right? And as the first rule is, the variable should start with the character. So we are starting with the characters, right? The next variable name is underscore. I am a very long variable, right? See, the length of this variable is too much and it is starting with the underscore. Absolutely fine. Variable name should not start with the digit. It can start with the underscore. Then look at this, int one another name, another one, right? So this is not valid because it is starting with a digit, so it is starting with 1, so it is not valid. And the last, char question mark tys, so it is also not valid because it is starting with the question mark, right? So we can use only one special symbol, that is underscore. We cannot use any other special symbol. So these are the some naming conventions that need to be followed while declaring variables. Like C programming, C++ also has different operators like unary operator, binary operator and ternary operators. Binary operators are further categorized into arithmetic, assignment, relational, logical operators. Right? So the examples of unary operators are unary minus, plus plus, minus minus and size of. Now there is a term called arity of the operator. Arity of operator is nothing but the number of operands required by that operator. For example, for unary operator we require one operand, for binary operator we require two operand, and for ternary operator we require three operands. So I can say arity of unary operator is 1, arity of binary operator is 2, and arity of ternary operator is 3. So in this table there are some examples shown. For example, 6 plus 4, that is 10, 6 minus 4, that is 2. So how these operators are used for some constant values. If you look at the last entry, right, so there is a modulus operator. So modulus operator returns us a remainder, whereas division operator gives us quotient. If you see here, 6 is divided by 4. In C programming, division of integer and integer is always integer. So ideally 6 by 4 has to be 1.5, but the answer is 1. So as I said before, whenever we are declaring variable, that variable need to be initialized. So here we are declaring one variable and the value of this variable is 25. So variable name is y and value of variable is 25. On the second line, we are declaring one more variable, that I will say array of characters, and to that we are assigning Sanjeevani, that is referred as string actually, right? In addition to that, we are declaring x. So initially value of x is 4, then value of y is assigned to x, and then we have c, to which we are assigning a as a capital letter. So whenever we are declaring character variable and we want to assign that variable a character, that character must be always enclosed in a single quote. The table that you find, that is for the compound assignment. The meaning of plus equal to is nothing but the compound assignment, that is compound addition, arithmetic addition, right? Now for example, if I say a plus equal to 3, it is as good as saying a equal to a plus 3. There are few more examples. A minus equal to 5 it is as good as saying A equal to A minus 5, and so on. The next category of operator is increment and decrement operator. These are the unary operators. So here we are declaring two variables, B and A. Value of A is 5. Then we are saying B equal to plus plus A. In this case, first of all, value of A will be incremented. So A will become now 6, and then this will be assigned to B. So B will also become 6. In second case, we are saying B equal to A plus plus. This is post incrementation. In this case, first of all, value of A, which is 6, will be assigned to B, and then A will be incremented. So A will become now 7. Then the way we are using pre-incrementation and post-incrementation, similarly we can use pre-decrementation and post-decrementation. There are relational operators. Basically we use relational operators with the if condition, right? So these are equal to, not equal to, equal to, greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to. These are all referred as the relational operators. Make a note that equal to operator we use to assign the value to the variable, whereas equal to we use to compare the two values. Next is logical operators. So there are different logical operators like logical and, logical or, and this table shows their truth table. If whenever we want to combine two conditions, right, both the conditions are true, then only the result will be true in case of the logical and. Whereas in case of or, if any of the condition is true, the result is true. Then we have one more logical operator called negation operator. So it makes true as a false and false as a true. Here are some examples. In first example, we are having three variables A, B, C. Value of A is 4, value of B is 5, and value of C is 3. There are two conditions in the first case, A greater than B and B greater than C. Now value of A is 4 and value of B is 5. So 4 greater than 5 is false. If any of the condition is false, there is no need to check the second condition. The entire expression will become false. In second case, the expression is true, and in third case, what we have, A equal to B. What is value of A? 4. What is value of B? 5. 4 equal to 5 is false. Okay, this is how we can work with the logical operators. Then A not equal to B. So what is the value of A here? 4. What is the value of B? 5. 4 not equal to 5. Is it true? Yes. So this will result in true. And A greater than B is false. The next operator is size of operator. The basically size of operator is used to return the size of the particular variable or data type in bytes. For example, if I say size of int, I will get 4 bytes. Size of float, I will get 4 bytes. If I say size of character, I will get 1 byte. So either I can provide the variable name or I can provide the data type name. And the last is conditional operators. So question mark and colon, they are referred to the conditional operators. Okay. The syntax of conditional operator is, if this condition is true, assign the value of question mark part to the variable. If it is false, assign the value of the colon part to the variable. For example, here, what is condition? A greater than B. If A greater than B, assign A to I. If A greater than B is false, assign B to I. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Okay, so with this we'll stop and we'll discuss the further basics of C++ in next session.